Live on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. It is the Saints and the Redbacks, and we're underway. Potter leapt early but was unable to get the tap. Redbacks looked to get the first clearance. It's Sobel who got the handball away, but not to any of his teammates, and we'll have an early stoppage in the corner of the centre square. It's in the Panton Hill forward half. Ball gets tossed up. This time Potter at the back was able to get the tap ahead of Nicholas Parks for Panton Hill, but no advantage yet for either side. We'll have another stoppage. This time Parks tries to thump it inside forward 50, looking for Sobel, picked up instead by Anetta, who was trying to get a teammate in Brownhill, wasn't unable to do so. And they get another stoppage, but a bit closer now to Panton Hill's goal, about 45 to 40 metres away from it. Potter front spot, got the tap. Not many ground level numbers for the Saints, but they do well to hold it up. Although umpire happy to let things go. Ollie Parks, though, caught for a throw, so it's going to be a Watsonia ball, centre half back. Not many options for him. Looks to go towards the broadcast side, and he sends it towards centre wing. It's a 2-on-2. Doesn't really favour much. Off hands, ball hits the deck. Trying to tap that forward was Panton, and the Saints will move it forward. A chipping ball towards the space between wing and half forward finds Christian Lawson. One of the young players, of course, in this team. Kicks it towards the low direction, who did have hands onto it, and the umpire's going to pay a mark. And it's going to the man in front, in Lachlan Buckley, who wants to get things moving, finds Donahue, and he's going to switch things across. And it was a tough one for his teammate, but they should be okay. Conte tries to apply to the Shepherd, did so well, but his teammate unable to control the footy. Conte found out the back, and now he can handpass it away to Josh Callaway, who goes down the line towards the outer side. Options there for his teammate, but they're not clean with the footy just yet. They try to move it forward through McLennan, but they lose the footy to Redbacks. And now it's Watsonia that can go towards half forward. Mark taken by Christian Lawson. Goes quickly to the low direction in the corridor. Again, it was in front spot. Couldn't take the mark. Was able to rebound well, but his handball towards a teammate unsuccessful. And it's Parks of the Nicholas variety. Got the handball away. And Jasper is able to find Conte on the outer side.
So Conte looking to clear it for Panton Hill. It's a dangerous kick, but it's going to work. Gets it out to Sobel, who goes back inside the middle to Owens Draper. Great look here for Panton Hill as they move forward. His kick goes further out wide. It's a foot race. Who's going to get there first? Panton Hill will, but he's tackled immediately. The Redbacks player, and the umpire's going to reward the tackler holding the ball. Huge tackle for Watsonia there. Looked like they were going to have a clear look inside forward 50. Nick Lawson there on the tackle to give Watsonia the ball. He'll go the switch and go backwards to Callahan, who goes further back now. And Watsonia will look to just slow the game down as Panton Hill set up really well behind the ball. As they go towards the outer wing, towards Sinclair, who keeps it in nicely, able to work around his opponent. Then fires a handball off as the kick now finds its way even closer towards Watsonia's goal. They go inside, and the switch here. It's not a great kick for Callahan here, but he's able to collect it with no pressure at all. Now the forward handball gets them further, closer, as the kick inside forward 50 is going to be chopped off by Buckley. As Panton Hill get the clearing kick only as far as McMillan. And it looks like the umpire will call ball up here just outside Watsonia's forward 50.
Saints looking to move this ball pretty quickly at the moment, but just haven't been able to be too clean with their inside 50 entries. You can tell that Lowe is going to be a target for him this afternoon, and Panton Hill defenders might be on top of that. As the ball gets tossed up, Sobel at ground level again as he looks to push it forward, but umpire's going to say that he dove on it and he's going to be dispossessed of it. So a chance here for Watsonia. It's Tim Todd, who's got the ball about 55 out from goal. Tough angle for him. Won't go to low, will go deeper instead towards the top of the goal square, and the mark is taken on the second grab. Charbel it is. Excellent positioning to find the forward, and now the Saints will have their first opportunity of the afternoon. In fact, it's actually Raiden Garrard who took the mark. Apologies. And he's one they brought across from Greensboro to do this exact thing. Impacts both on the scoreboard and around the ground. Played all senior footy at the Borough last year and one goal so far in his 3 games for the Saints in 2024. He's close out, but he's missed to the right. And it's an unfortunate start for the hosts. They move to one behind. Panton Hill yet to score. We are now just ticking into 5 minutes in this opening term of the match of the day, and the Redbacks will clear.
Promising for the Saints, though. They probably look like the most likely to get the first goals. That's a long kick up the middle for Panton Hill. It won't come to their advantage, as it's just going to pinball around the contest here, where the umpire will say, I'll take it. And the ball up inside the centre square. Like I was saying before, the Saints probably look like the most likely to get the first goal of the day. It's back in the ruck. Parks winning it to the Redbacks' advantage. Only as far as these midfield. Parks goes in again. Really tough. Gets the clearing kick out. To no real avail for the Redbacks, as the umpire will call ball up again. Looks like it's a slow start to this contest.
They're trying to move quicker, that's the thing.
Yeah. It's Parks. Wins the hit out. Doing well there was Owens Draper, tapping it to his advantage and finding a teammate. And now Panton Hill look like they're able to get a chain going as they go up towards forward 50. Couldn't take the mark, but running onto it really nicely. I think it was Owens Draper again. He's able to push it forward and get it out of bounds for a forward stoppage. Deep inside their forward 50, probably the closest they've been to goal all this quarter.
Certainly is, and despite not looking too much like hitting the scoreboard early, there's a potential here to get one against the run of play. Ball gets tossed up. Grabbing it out of the ruck there was Tom Blake. Expect him to do a bit of ruck work, particularly in the forward half this afternoon. Of course, an MVP winner in this competition. And he looks right at home back in Redbacks colours. He'll go up against Potter. Blake taps it backwards, but unable to find a teammate cleanly at the least. Sobel went in hard. The go head first, he did. And the ball's just going to stick around for another stoppage. We're only about 20 metres away here from the Panton Hill goal. Tossed up again. Potter this time influencing the hit out. On ground level and trying to spin his way out of trouble and getting a kick away was McLennan. It was bouncing, but bouncing through for a behind. So it's one behind apiece now for the Saints and the Redbacks. 7.25 minutes into the opening term.
So Bolton, the skipper for the Saints, will take it out. And he goes up towards a 2-on-1 in the Saints' favour. But it will fall to the hands of Panton Hill, who look to just push it forward at any cost. Intercepted nicely, though, by Anetta, as it does fall back to Panton Hill, and nice intercepting mark by Callahan, who looks to go to the broadcast side, in fact. It's not the greatest kick for Lawson, who's able to keep it in. Goes back to Bolton, who puts a high ball up the line towards Garrard. Oh, coming in hard. Couldn't take the mark as it trickles off his knee and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in just outside Panton Hill's forward 50.
McLennan got there just in time to impact that, because Garrett had it all for him to mark, and then from there he could have got things moving for the Saints. So Panton Hill do well here to force a stoppage. Potter, front spot, got the tap, and Edda's his target. Sam Parks all over him. And then at the bottom of the pack is Conte. In fact, McCullum will have another stoppage. Rucks go at it. McCullum doing the ruck work for Panton Hill on this occasion. It's Parks of the Olive variety who got it to Sam, and then his kick was smothered out of bounds for a boundary throw in, almost right on the paint of 50 at Panton Hill's forward line. Broadcast side, almost 9 minutes now into the opening quarter. He's one behind apiece for our two feature teams on the NFNL match of the day. Ollie Parks and Corey Potter. Potter was back position, but it suited him to get the tap. Now trying to duck and weave his way through his Jai Murphy. Wasn't able to do so. And then a kick off the ground from Callahan, and worked in the favour of Ethan Gorski, who's probably too far out for home. He's got Ollie Parks deep, and that's the direction he's going to go with. Now a few flyers from either side. Who's at ground level? Ollie Parks tries to get his own footy. It's going to be rushed through, though, by the Saints defenders. And a second behind for the Redbacks. They move to two behinds. Watsonia one behind. Still waiting for this first goal. And the Saints will look to go very quickly. They've been trying to do that already in the early stages of this contest. They clear it out of defensive 50, but with his mitts all over that was Gorski, who's going to send it back inside 50 for the visitors. High ball, might not favour too many forwards, so hits the ground level. Ollie Parks again going in hard, and he's going to force a stoppage inside 50 for the Redbacks. So just in this last few minutes, Zach, the visitors have turned it around.
They sure have, and looking towards like Panton Hill are really starting to get on top, as you said, Nick, as a clearing kick here for the Saints doesn't really work, as Panton Hill able to get it back inside forward 50. Couldn't take it cleanly there. Was Blake for the big man. A bit hard when the ball's trickling along the ground. Big bump there, not going. No free kick given, as the umpire just wants this play to continue, as the Saints look to just fumble their way forward. Can't get it done, as Callaway puts a high ball inside forward 50. No mark taken for the Saints. Uncontested, you might say. There's Davidson. Gets a clearing kick, and it'll be a free kick actually for Watsonia.
And they're going to, they was behind a play advantage, but umpire's going to make him go back. This is Phil Bastick.
Could have been a disaster for the Saints. 3 people there, no one taking the mark.
They did well to cover things up, that's for sure. And it looks like they're going to start with a switch again. Bolton. Kick doesn't get to his teammate in Vasilevsky on the full, but he's got plenty of time to get that one over to Callahan. He's got a bit of it already at half-back. Chipping ball to Winetta, he's all on his own, really. And again, waste no time. Right boot down the line, poor kick. Another intercept by Ethan Gorski. He's got 3 already this afternoon. Looks to go corridor and is successful. Finds Tim Duckworth, one of the 2 inclusions for Panton Hill this afternoon. Finds Sobel now. And they're just maintaining possession of the footy, and they're finding space. A kick a bit dangerous, but again, is okay. And now McLennan inside 50. Good intercept coming from Vasilevsky. That brings it to ground level. Panton Hill, though, applying their forward 50 pressure, almost winning the ball back completely. There was a teammate there in Livingston, unable to do so. Now he finds himself at the bottom of the pack. And we'll have the ball up about 55 outs from the Panton Hill goal.
Going to need a double team. Gorski, 3 intercepts, like you said before, to start off this game. He's sitting very nicely at the back of the stoppage in really dangerous positions. As trying to push through there for Panton Hill with no success.
Should mention is the officiating umpire, Martin Ellis, who's also the NFNL head of umpiring, just taking his duties to all levels, particularly this afternoon, as emerging out of the pack there was Roberts. Got the handball away to Ollie Parks, and he wasn't able to get much bend on his shot towards goal. He bounced through eventually for a behind, and the Redbacks moved to 3 behinds. Watsonia 1 behind, 12 and a quarter minutes into the first term.
So the Saints been under the pump a bit for this quarter so far, looking to clear it out and get a mark closer towards goal. They're not able to do so, as brilliantly intercepted by the Panton Hill defenders, able to bring it to ground and keep the ball in dispute, and the umpire will call a ball up, probably the 50th of the quarter.
It's been quite a few, hasn't there? Plenty of stoppages, but it is strange because the intent of both sides, you feel, is to get it moving quick, but as big as this ground is, they maybe haven't been able to find as much space as they would have liked. Roberts tried to emerge with the footy, but it's going to be a Watsonia free kick between wing and half forward in their defensive half. They go towards the outer side. Bouncing ball will work here for Brown, who has got plenty of time. His kick, though, smothered. Do they have backup numbers? Panton Hill through Sobel tried to get it forward, but it's all the Saints at ground level, so they'll win the ball back. Couple of handball chains, and then that's almost intercepted again by Gorski, who may have been held without it. Umpire happy to let things go, and then the Saints, as they look to go throughout the forward line, go out of bounds on the full.
It's that pressure from Panton Hill that's been fantastic. That's why there's been a lot of ball ups as well. Every time it looks like Watsonia can get a clearance, they've been diving on top of them, locking it in.
So the Redbacks down the line again towards the outer side. A couple of flyers here. This time the mark is taken by Roberts. Handball's off to a teammate and an inside 50. It's only a one-on-one for Blake. He's in front. Didn't read the bounce that great. Managed to still get a handball away to a teammate in Pilati. And now Panton Hill almost able to get things moving. But then after coughing up the football, they lay a really strong tackle through Bailey Sobel, who's been very impressive to start this opening term. With a man at a mark about 45 out from goal. It's going to be a tough kick for him if he's got the journey, but doesn't look too confident. He's got a couple of leading options. Sobel will kick just inside 50. Tries to run around the man on the mark to get some extra distance. That's not a bad kick. He got there distance-wise, but misses to the right-hand side. And it's the 4th behind now for Panton Hill. They lead Watsonia, though, who are 1 behind. And through Christian Lawson, they'll clear it away.
So Lawson deep inside his own defensive pocket, pushing everyone wide. He goes back to his captain, though, who's in the goal square. Not the position Watsonia want to be in early, especially when they need a win today. As Bolton goes up towards a one-on-one couldn't take the mark. As Parks handballs off, Owens Draper gets a handball inside forward 50 to Chobel, and then having the running shot with the check side, it's going to be no score in the end. So another wasted opportunity for the Redbacks inside forward 50, but it just looks like early their pressure is a bit too much for the Saints. Every time that ball comes to ground, they're not winning those 50-50s, and it looks like it's really hurting the Saints at the moment, who need to get a score early.
Zach, it's the last thing we mentioned before we actually started this game about inaccuracy. The last time Watsonia played Panton Hill, they kicked 17 behinds, and Netta's going to try and fly for the back on this occasion. Didn't get the lift he wanted, but the Saints at ground level can move through. Christian Lawson got the handball away. Panton Hill through Donahue applying the pressure, and Netta kept going, and he was able to do really well to find Potter. Takes the mark, he's got a run on the boundary line. This is Charbel, who's able to go to 55 and then send it to the top of the goal square. Will it work for his forwards? It didn't quite on that occasion. They still keep moving it forward, and they do really well. Pantalones are going to go towards goal and miss to the near side. And there's your first glimpse of a dangerous Watsonia transition. And Netta influential in that passage as well. Charbel did really good to keep running, but it's 2 behinds to 4 in favour of Panton Hill. And it'll be Conte to clear it towards the outer side. He's going to find Ollie Parks, who's in front. Doing really well, though, was Harrison Sinclair to intercept. Kept the ball in play. Sends it inside 50. They try to keep it moving. Low. Got the handball away to Anetta, who tries to snap. Kick smothered by Donahue. Donahue got the handball away. The Redbacks out of trouble. Or are they? They're under enormous pressure. They kick it away, but the Saints have the numbers if they can pick it up cleanly. Doing really well to keep things moving was Akram for Panton Hill. That's cut off. Christian Lawson with the snap, and it's out of bounds on the full. And for no score happening in that passage, it was a frenetic little bit.
There was about 20 players inside their own forward 50 there, Watsonia. Great forward pressure, which would have put the Redbacks really back on the back foot, and a goal there would have been massive for them as Callaway gets the game back into play. Just goes short towards McMallum, and that's gone out in the full. You wouldn't want to have your car there.
You okay this week, Zach?
Yeah,
last week had a few problems.
Not even close this time, so not even worrying about that. As Watsonia look to go deep inside forward 50. Can it find Low at the back? Is Garrard. He keeps it in play. The snap is high. Was it touched? Well, it's actually going to be called a behind potentially. It is touched behind. Garrard wasn't able to keep it in play. Watsonia will get their 3rd behind of the day.
3-4. It's looking like a EPL scoreline as of late with all their dramatic finishes, but it's 17 and a half minutes into this first term instead. They clear it out to Panton Hill. Ball hits the deck, but it's going to be an infringement that goes Panton Hill's way. It's going to be in the hands of Nick Parks. Parks down the line, broadcast side. It's a 3-on-2 in favour of the Saints. It goes behind just about everybody. Blake happy to see that out of bounds. For a boundary throw in.
They've got about 4 rucks today, Panton Hill, that they're able to just rotate through. I've seen Blake in there, Parks in there, McCallum in there.
And Livingston can as well.
Yep, both Parks, Ollie and Nick.
Ball between wing and half forward for Panton Hill. Ball gets tossed up. It is Nick Parks that grabs it out of the ruck, and then he was tackled by Anetta, and Anetta wins the footy, but the Saints want to keep it moving, so he won't touch it for now. They send it towards half forward for the Saints. Donahue tried to read the bounce. His teammate did instead. Now a high ball by Panton Hill. Conte centre wing all on his own. Was able to take the mark. He's got numbers in the middle of the ground that he could give the handball off to, but doesn't decide to. Now he's off his line and in a bit of trouble. Fortunately, he had players remain in the corridor. The mark's taken by Owens Draper, who wants to get things moving as well. Got the handball away to Nathan Jasper in the middle of Benak Park. Sends it inside 50 now. Sinclair off hands, unable to take it. Still a chance here from Roberts. He was looking for a teammate with the handball. It didn't get to him. And, well, I thought that might have been a high against Bravey, or in fact in favour of Bravey, but not to be. And there'll be a stoppage at the 19-minute mark of his first term in Panton Hill, forward line.
So still yet to have a goal to start off this clash in Division 2, where both sides a win would be massive. And Nettie's had a great first quarter, explodes from the stoppage and helps Watsonia get the ball up forward as Potter takes a nice check mark, goes quickly inside the middle, where Watsonia look to go inside forward 50, pushing his opponent out, and it will be a free kick against him. Lawson trying to get the advantage, wouldn't work as Conte's now going to take it. All on his own here on the broadcast wing. Cuts back inside nicely before going short to Parks. Parks didn't even know the ball was coming to him. As it trickles behind towards Vasilevsky. And this is really slow by Watsonia, inviting the pressure, but doing very nicely there was Davidson. shrugging the tackle. His kick wasn't too great. Conte intercepts. Anetti's there, but Conte not letting it go until Anetti just breaks the tackle. And it's going to be a free kick in the end to Anetti.
And that is enormous strength. That is very impressive. You cannot break a tackle. You cannot break this man. And that is, in fact, Panton Hill's going to have a blood rule here, but this is why he's had such an impressive start to the season, Zach. He is just a bull inside.
Only one of a couple players who have been in Watsonia's best in all games this year so far. And it's pretty easy to see why with the start he's had.
Huge. And Scott Conte is no easy feat to break a tackle off either.
Oh, he's just sent him off with a blood rule. That's how strong Anetta is. As he looks to go short. It's a nice pass. So Watsonia, they've got a lot of numbers inside forward 50. Are they able to get low free? It looks like they are. He's going to run and jump at this contest. Couldn't take the mark. Panton Hill are able to be there at ground level and get it out. Buckley's fan ball forward finds Owens Draper, who's able to tap it out of bounds for a throw-in.
It was Baxter Evans there that just got in the way of Lowe. Not much communication there. Lowe could have taken that grab just outside 50 and allowed another opportunity for the Saints. But instead, we've got a boundary throw-in. Broadcast side between wing and half forward for Watsonia, and merging out the pack is Jai Murphy on the paint of 50. Sends it towards goal. It's going to bounce through. Jai Murphy with an excellent finish. And it's taken a while, but there's your first of the afternoon. It goes to the home side. 139 the Saints. Panton Hill 4 behind. 21.5 minutes into the opening term. And breakaway speed there from Jai Murphy. Had all the space in the world. And the bounce favoured him in the end.
It did. It was fantastic. It was breakneck speed out of the front of the stoppage. Nothing Panton Hill could do. And finally, we've got someone who's been able to kick straight. 21 minutes into this opening term.
Absolutely. It's taken a while. In saying that, both sides certainly have had their chances. It hasn't come through too much bad luck. Back in the middle, though. Looks like we might have a secondary stoppage. No, it was Akram that tried to clear it away, but it actually went backwards, that ball, and players just colliding just about everywhere. Akram tried to keep going, then lost the footy. Ends up inside 50 for the Saints, but it's quickly cleared away by Callaway, who already gets it to the opposing 50. Callahan unable to drop the mark, and the numbers here favour Panton Hill. Trying to push this forward is McLennan, and he was set upon by a couple of Saints. Ball hits the deck. Sinclair just hesitated a moment, and that has got to beat 3, but he missed the ball completely. Now picked up again and cleared through Duckworth towards half forward. The kick's a good one. Ollie Parks right in front of his bench. 60 out from goal. Kick smothered inside 50. Will it still bounce for Cousins at will? Got the handball away and then towards a vacant goal square. This might bounce. Oh, what a fair. That is magnificent. Riley Livingston in mid-air, and it wouldn't take long for him to get on the board. And a fantastic finish from the Redbacks' leading goal kicker. And there's your immediate response from the visitors, 1-4-10. Watsonia 139, 23 minutes into the first term.
First time we've seen Livingston pop up this quarter, and he's able to just toe poke it in for a goal. It looked like Owens Draper was the one who was able to almost trickle it through, but fantastic heads-up play from Livingston, being able to make sure of it, and great response Panton Hill are able to get there first on the board and get back in front by a point. As we're back in the middle in the ruck battle. It's done well by McCallum, who's able to win it out and then help with this clearance as Akram goes inside forward 50. Wasn't the cleanest of kicks, but it will work in the Redbacks' favour as they look to surge it forward, and that's exactly what they do. Parks is taken high in the back. Doesn't matter what it is, it's a free kick. And Oliver Parks, who's been pretty good in this first quarter. Both a very good option up forward and has spent some time in the ruck and held his own. Will get a free kick about 25 to 30 metres out on a slight angle, and look for Panton Hill's second goal in the matter of minutes. Or seconds even. That's just come straight out of the centre bounce. So Oliver Parks, he's got 82 goals to his career. It's his 138th game, the 29-year-old. Panton Hill need more goal scorers than Livingston today. Can he be one of them? He certainly can. Panton Hill have 2 in a row, as their lead extends out to 7, 2-4-16. Plays 1-3-9 early stages of this game.
That ball had barely left Ollie Park's boot, and he was already going back to celebrate. That's how confident he was. It was a close goal, but worked out well, and that's his third of the season now, Ollie Parks. And he gives Panton Hill a 7-point lead as we tick towards the 25-minute mark of this opening term. And after not seeing goals in the first 18 minutes, we've seen 3 in the space of 5. That's how football works, I guess. It's Watsonia to win the clearance. Sinclair, that was a very strange kick. Sam Parks took the mark, but it wasn't 15, and his handball wasn't great either. It landed straight for Corey Potter, who will be called for a ball up. And he'll go up against McCullum in this ruck contest. Both players getting a tap, and there's your siren for quarter time here at Binnack Park. And it was a slow start, but it certainly sped up as the quarter went on. We ended up with 3 majors for this opening term, and we see Panton Hill take a 7-point lead into the opening break. They are 2-4-16. Sonia are 1-3-9. Your goal kickers so far, well, it started with Jai Murphy, who just burst out of that clearance, out of that stoppage, I should say, and was able to get things rolling. And then, in a matter of minutes, for Panton Hill, it was Ryo Livingston in midair in the goal square, and then Ollie Parks, who was able to slot home his set shot. But an interesting opening term.